Waking up in a mysterious tavern, Elva, Stargazer, and we Kharms met Gladstone Gilberto and began to explore the surrounding village, which appeared to be deserted. In the empty street, a withered stranger in a chicken-legged cabin revealed their purpose: to embark on the first adventure and prove their worth to become true champions of Xenonia. Now they must journey across the wilds of Nocturne to brave the caverns of extreme disarray and find the Lo of Ian Falcori, a cursed keep that rests on the very border of Twilight. And so begins the legend of Wyzyrd Skyzyrd.
Godspeed and fare thee well. Take all you need. Here's every spell I know. I know.
Chapter 2: The Wilds of Nocturne.
If you want, Andrew, once you get the site up, if you want to share your screen.
Do you want a character that's like gruff and upfront, or like do you want to like race into battle, or do you want to be Brooks and be sneaky?
No, I think I should be. That's why I said I should be a barbarian, because they said it's easy, but also because I think that we need
a tough guy.
We need like
we don't have a tough guy. Yeah,
and we need somebody that's just like we should kill him kind of guy.
Okay. I will tell you that this group is very low on intelligence. Neither Brooks or I did very good on Arcana checks.
Well, that was just bad rolls.
I think it was bad rolls. Okay, I'll give you that. The fun thing about a Goliath is if you get knocked out and you die, you pop right back up, I think, with one hit point. Yeah, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to make sure that you're actually wearing your great axe and stuff like that so that you can use it.
What should my name be? Scrog.
I am Scrog.
I like Scrog. There you go.
All right. So let's say Sean says that you say, I'm going to take a swing at this kobold. To swing your axe, you're going to click that where it says +5. And the reason you have +5 is because you're so strong. And then that will roll your dice. Click it.
Cool. 19.
That rolls your dice, and then in the bottom right-hand corner, it'll say you get 19 +5 because you're so strong. So let's say you have to do damage now. Right next to that +5, click under where it says damage, and we'll roll for damage.
4.
Yeah, but you get +3, so you actually did 7 damage.
I want to show you something real quick. It's a D&D ad from 1981. See a little... Send a catalog to TSR.
That is awesome.
Look, kids, it's just another comic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with Scrog. That's your character.
Yes.
So, Scrog, you wake up in an alleyway. You don't remember falling asleep in that alleyway. But depending on your lifestyle, that's up to you to decide whether or not that's a weird thing.
It's a rough time in my life.
But when you look around, you recognize it because all alleys look about the same, but you don't have any recollection of how you got here or where you are.
Okay.
Here right now, you are sitting on the ground, leaning on a wall. And that's how you open your eyes and wake up.
I guess I'm wearing it's not a traditional thing. I have like a full-on royal outfit on, sort of like a travel outfit, but it's a giant size one. You know what I mean? I'm not like, it's like I'm high class.
You're big clothes for a big man.
I think my backstory with this is that like they sent me to come look for my brother. Where are we, by the way? That's what I don't know.
You have no idea.
I have no idea. So I just woke up. So I guess I walk out of the alley.
All right.
I hear noise. I guess, I walk out of the alley.
You don't hear anything, actually.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to tell what time of night it is. It seems like it's nighttime because it's still dark out, but there are street lamps. But you don't hear any people and you don't see anybody right away either.
Okay. So I lumber out of the alley then.
Okay. You do see some tracks, but you can't quite make sense of what they are because they just look like big bird feet having run down the street.
Well, I'm not scared of anything, so I will follow the tracks.
All right. So as you get a little bit further down the street, you actually can start to hear something. And it just sounds like something big walking.
Mm-hmm.
So you assume probably getting closer to the big bird.
You guys tell me if I'm doing stuff wrong and all these things. I guess I'm stealthily, much more stealthily, try to investigate this. I crouch and try to sneak up on what this big thing is.
Okay. It's pretty far ahead of you, but you can see it through the lamp lights down the street. As far as you can tell, it looks like a house on legs.
Okay.
Like it looks like a small cabin walking down the street on giant chicken legs. But not in a hurry. It doesn't seem to notice you. You're being stealthy, but right now it's just kind of casually walking down the street.
Can I tell if there are people in it, or is it just an empty house?
You can't see anything. Like you see there's light coming in from a window, but you can't see into the window. It looks like it's shuttered.
I think I still would want to investigate this.
Yeah, and as you keep going down the street, you see that there's some houses and you see some businesses, but everything is shut up. Like there doesn't seem to be anything else going on, and certainly not anything as interesting as a cabin with chicken legs. If you're trying to follow it, you'll gain on it because, like I said, it's not in a hurry.
Yeah, I think I would like to gain on it. I have all my equipment and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I start trying to jog after it.
Okay. It's also kind of slowing down. It looks like you're getting close to the edge of town, although you can't see much past the border. You just see that the buildings are getting more and more sparse as you get closer to the chicken leg house. And before it reaches the very edge, it kind of stops. Like now, it's not moving at all.
Can I try to talk to it?
Sure.
Great feathered beast.
It turns around so that the front faces you. Like the door is shut, so you can't see anything inside. But at least it does seem to have noticed you. But it's not talking back.
I am a stranger in this land. What I asked, what are you?
I don't know how to.
Nothing happens. So is there a front door?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. If with your permission, may I enter thee?
It leans towards you.
All right, I walk up and try to go in the door.
So you open the door?
Yeah.
When you open the door, 3 people pour out of it like they were just about to exit as you came in. Well, you guys, as soon as you were heading out of the cabin, you opened the door and the cabin started to lean forward, and then the door swung open and you all 3 poured out onto the street right on top of what looks like a half giant barbarian wearing the nicest. They're a little dirtier now because you guys just knocked them down into the road. But an otherwise very fancy suit of clothes.
All right, I'll say, whoa, whoa.
Little travelers, I have saved you.
I don't know, what should I say? Does he look threatening?
Not so far.
Is he making, does he look like something that we should be scared of? Can I do a check for that?
You do an insight check
or something?
Yeah, I'd like
insight.
a perception to see if you're getting any sense of.
I will roll insight.
I'm very well dressed, so
I got a 2.
He seems big. Mostly big.
Are you having trouble speaking, little one?
Not at all, sir. We are a traveling band of bards. We go by the name of Wyzyrd Skyzyrd.
Wyzyrd Skyzyrd.
I'm sure you've heard of us, but
one of them's wearing a T-shirt that says Wyzyrd Skyzyrd.
No autographs, please.
All wise. Yeah, we just started a quest and a band, so you hit us at a good time.
Are you also a stranger to this land? Like, you just sort of woke up here?
Yes, I just woke up in that alley back there.
Do you work for, what's his name again? The guy in the house?
Rebo. As you're talking, by the way, the cabin is taking a step back and it turns around and just starts running out of town.
Do you work for Rebo?
I know not this man you speak of.
Are you from Xenonia?
Xenonia.
I don't know these names you people call your lands, but I am not from here. I am from further away.
Well, welcome, because we are also not from here, and we both, all three of us, just woke up here this morning as well, and we were just told by that guy who's taking off in the chicken house.
Guy in the chicken cabin.
That was a good timing. I can just see this house taking off and going, meow.
We were just told by that guy that he brought us here to become heroes of this land.
Yeah, I'm assuming he brought you for the same reason, but
or maybe he's the villain we've got to all conquer.
Yes, how many others? He didn't mention that he had brought others, and we asked.
Oh, no, he told us to be nice to people we met.
Well, he said to treat people as people, but this is not a person. Look at him.
Pretty good advice.
How dare you, little one?
Yeah, Jesus.
Well, I am Scrog from a noble family. You do not speak to me that way, but I will let it pass this time.
He did say that the enemy that we would be facing, I suppose, would be later on in the woods, not in town. And he does say he just joined us. So I'm going to whisper to I forget your character's name. I'm sorry, Megan. What is it?
Elva.
I'm going to whisper to Elva and Gladstone and try to be stealthy about it. It's like, keep an eye on him. We don't know if he can be trusted.
How would we not?
Yeah, how can we not? Let's just let him walk in front of us. So, what was your name, noble, giant, savage man?
My name is Scrog of the Hill People.
I'm just saying, this guy doesn't speak for the whole group.
Yes, because believe me, they would say something much worse.
I thought you were being stealthy. I said we get the hell out of here.
What are these unusual sounds you're making?
I have a bag of animals in my side that I collect.
Yeah.
I come from a long line of warriors, but I left my home to become a chef?
Oh.
A cook?
Oh. Okay.
Nice. Cool. You don't happen to play any musical
I'm tired of killing thousands and thousands of other living creatures.
Just the rivers of blood I have waded through.
This isn't making me more
The
comfortable.
earth has drank much blood from me, but as I've gone along, I've also collected a few small animals that could be interesting to eat.
Oh.
I mean.
All right. Well, I guess we could do worse if we're going off in the woods.
And so he's dressed like formally, but it's dirty.
Well, yeah, because you guys knocked him down into the road.
Yeah, I'm just like leather, like in like leather traveling clothes. I'm not dressed like in a frill or something. It's like
okay, but you could tell it's expensive.
Like Jaime Lannister, like leather traveling, but it's giant. But I'm a giant then.
Fancy jerkin.
Yeah.
How big is a giant like compared to us?
It's just a half giant, so he's just a big man.
Like 7 feet tall or
like
something?
a wrestler.
Like 6'8"? What is I'm just trying to picture like compared
Probably
to us.
7 feet. It's like Andre the Giant or something.
So pretty big.
Yeah.
All right. Pretty intimidating. All right,
well,
Sir Scrog. Well, we are on our way to the wilderness as we were instructed to go to by
to
Rebo.
prove our worth.
We must prove our worth. We could use a strong, brave man like yourself if you would like to join us.
I have no qualms with that. I'm here to learn as much as I can while I'm here. So,
Yeah,
yes.
maybe. Yeah, along the way you could like pick up drums or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're all starting
I'm the
out.
bouncer.
How's your singing voice?
Yeah. And you're like, yeah, maybe a baritone. We're doing a quartet.
My singing voice is renowned among my people.
Good. Because I'm not so sure about hers.
Yeah.
She claims to play tambourine, but we have no tambourines. So
What are your names? I think I missed your names.
I am Kharms.
We, Kharms.
Yes.
That is fitting.
How is that fitting? What do you mean?
For you are so small, sir.
What? What is? Because we means small?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
We Kharms.
And my name is Elva Stargazer.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. It's a pleasure.
The drunk one is Gladstone. Are you still drunk, Gladstone?
I don't know. I mean,
His breath smells of many violent spirits.
You reek of violent spirits.
well, you know, we are going off on a quest, so.
We appear to be here in a town. I wish I'd asked Rebo this, but I wasn't. You could see from our roles previously, my intelligence is not up to par today. But
I do not have a fully functioning brain.
You see, we're surrounded by homes and stores, but we don't know if there's any other people here. I don't feel like there are, so I was
Can
thinking.
I ask you? Well, I was going to say.
You may interrupt me at any time.
Yes, little
Go ahead.
wee man. Do all of your houses here have legs?
So far as we know, this is the only one.
But we haven't checked.
Yeah,
I mean,
none of the
so
other
far-
houses
We
have
haven't
run
been
away
far.
from us yet.
yeah.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
Just now I have, but no, not before.
Are you familiar with such magic from your world?
No.
Well, I was thinking that perhaps we could check out some of these stores and see if there's any gear that would be useful to us on our journey. I don't feel that since apparently no one lives here, it would be morally wrong to do such a thing. For those
We
of
has
you
already
that...
checked out the lockbox in the tavern, so
Well, again, I was borrowing that money. I fully
Right, we
intend to
did leave a
return
note.
it to the barkeep. Yes, we left a note.
I did
Gladstone
leave a note.
was
Yeah,
happy
I
to
took
do so.
Ownership of that for the group.
if we look up and down the street, do we see anything that looks like there might be a store with some equipment or
Let's see if there's a baker's shop. If you want to go to the
a
bakery.
bakery, perhaps?
Oh, wonderful. Our friend Scrog can bake us up something while we're there.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, I will bake you something.
I'm
Well,
just
here-
thinking if we're heading into
Are
the
we going to
woods.
steal bread or are we going to steal dough? Because I feel like if we're going in the bakery, we could just get bread.
Well, yes, that's
That
kind of
is
what I
true.
was meaning.
You might not be quite ready for my bread.
Do any of you have rope or other things that might be useful? And because we're heading towards a cavern, right?
Now you're asking a real question.
There are caverns, that's true.
We're heading to where we're going through wilderness, and we're going into the caverns of what? What was it called?
Extreme disarray.
The caverns of extreme disarray. And then we're going to a keep, or it was the keep of extreme disarray. What was it?
No, the keep is the Lo of Ian
Oh.
Falcori.
Yes, I think we have all that we need to actually travel.
And yeah, and we got plenty of bottles. I mean, Scrog seems like he could probably put some away, so I don't know how much we planned ahead. But
I only have 1 day of rations, so I do think
well,
we
if you
should take
wanna
some food.
rob a bakery, like the bread.
I
will
say
last a
let's go
while.
see what stores are available. We're not in a hurry. He didn't mention any timeline, right?
Do we stroll in a general direction away from where the house ran?
Yeah, because the house ran out of town. You're at the border of town right now, so if you go
Okay.
back to the stores, you're headed back.
Was this house trying to kidnap you?
No, it didn't
just
force
let us
us to enter. We entered of our own accord, and inside we met a man named Rebo, who did not look to be in peak health at the time. In fact, he was
Looked a little dry.
he looked a little dead.
Yeah, he looked and smelled a little dead.
He informed us that we were brought here by him to audition for a role of hero in this world of Xenonia. Not this world that we're in now, which is an in-between space, but this world, yes, this other world called Xenonia that needs heroes for a god named Kezan? What was it?
Kishak.
Kezik?
Kessex.
Kesax.
Kissax.
Kessex.
So he gave us some very vague instructions about where to go through a wilderness, through the caverns of, infinite death or whatever. And then the keep of low-down badness. And then at that point, we will have proved our worth or died. That seems to be the case.
So our quest has been laid before us.
Vaguely, yes.
Vaguely.
He gave us a choice to leave and go back home, but you don't seem to have that choice. That's unfortunate for you.
He sort of assumed consent when it came to you.
So what you're saying here, this is another realm?
This is apparently a magical in-between realm, and it reeks of magic. We can tell. I'm not sure if you are sensitive to magic. But,
no, but I can see that all the lights in the Sky Mother are different.
Yes. And so we have not seen any people before you and Rebo. And so we woke up in a bar, a tavern, nobody there. We've walked down the streets, looked through some windows, saw no signs of life. And so I feel like this realm is empty of people, but he did mention after I asked that we might run into people along the way. And that's why when I saw you, I wasn't sure if you were like us, new to this world, or someone that lived in this world already, since we haven't seen the locals. They might be giants, I don't know. They don't look like giants based on the size of the doorways, but...
I woke up in the bar earlier as well, but then I stumbled outside to an alley because I had to evacuate much contents of my belly.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
If you happen to see that alley, remind us not to go down it.
I head over to the bakery that is the closest that we see.
Yeah, I'd like to just go down the street and see let us know what kind of stores we see, because I enjoy collecting things. It's a hobby of mine.
And free is always a good price.
Yes, free is my favorite price.
Discount.
I will say also, as we're walking, I'm going to talk to him some more, but I want us to be walking while we're doing this, so we're not just standing here. We also have trouble reading the signs. The lettering seems to change every time we look at it. And we found some coinage that is a kind that I've never seen before. I get one of the coins out and I show it to him. Have you ever seen this signet before, or whatever it is on the...
No, I do not. These are strange markings to me as well.
Well then, tuck it back in. It seems that these languages are not familiar to you either. We'll just have to guess what these stores are by looking through the windows.
I would like to try and open the door to the bakery.
It's not locked.
See, they're practically asking us to borrow their food. I mean, if they didn't want us to steal it, they'd lock their doors. I mean, borrow.
Almost feels like no one intended for us to be here this long.
I break the windows of this shop.
Almost feels like...
You break the window.
These see-through walls are quite fragile.
All right, well, we'll just go through the door and watch him going through the window.
Rocket smashed the window.
Several unscripted burglaries later.
All right, well, if there's nothing else, I feel like this town has nothing left to offer from what we're looking at. So I suppose we can move on.
Feels almost like this whole place is a shell.
Yes, it feels almost like a pretend town.
Like a prop town almost.
Yes, like a town that was built to look like a town, but not have any actual...
Without being very thoroughly thought out.
Like a plaything for a little one.
Exactly. When I walk out the door, do I see in which direction, I guess if we follow the chicken house, it goes out of town. Do I see the woods that we're supposed to be looking for just beyond the town?
You can't see that far from the edge of town. Like the dark starts to set in. Once you leave the lights of the street, the darkness sets in.
We established with Rebo last time when we were asking him, I believe he said that any direction will lead to the wilderness.
Yeah, he assumed that you would leave the town. Maybe if we just stand here long enough, the adventure will happen to us.
Well, I was curious if daylight would come, because I'm not thrilled about going into a strange wilderness at nighttime.
Yeah, that's a good concern, but as far as you can tell, now you've been here for a few hours, and looking up in the night sky, you don't really see stars, and you don't see anything that indicates that the light above is changing at all. It just seems like this sort of dusk.
The Twilight world.
It's a little unnerving.
Well, he did say you weren't there, but Rebo did say that the keep that we're searching for is on the border of Twilight.
Mm.
Like this this kind of nocturne land is not a real place.
I'll say I was hoping that a sun of some kind would rise and give us some light to travel by, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Did we find any lanterns?
There were lanterns and stuff.
Okay, I'm definitely taking a lantern then.
Does the dark unman you?
I am not ashamed to admit that I'm not thrilled about wandering in a forest in an alien world to us in the dark.
If we go, I shall hold the torch high, so it'll spread all around.
Yeah, that's true. It'd be like having our own moon.
So you have torches, you say, Scrog?
Yes.
You have 10 torches.
Yes,
and
I have
you
torches.
are familiar with wilderness survival.
Yes.
Well, I definitely vote that you lead the team.
My people, we are sent out to the wilderness as a baby.
As an infant, we are put into
We
the
have to
wilderness.
crawl.
And we do not come home until 10 years have passed.
I don't know. This
Well,
guy
then.
nerves me a lot, but I like it.
Yes, that's unnerving, but also encouraging in a strange way.
It is done to treat us to be humble to all living things. So, yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Except for a bag of animals.
Yeah.
Well, take the lead, Scrog, and
Like
we will follow you.
They're not living so much as they used to be.
They
This
seem to be leaking. It's
Not living so much as leaking.
Yeah.
Through the back.
Ease. All right, I'm going to keep a distance behind him.
You know what?
Watch
I
where
might just
step.
leave this stack here for now. We'll collect new ones if I want to. A foul odor has begun to.
Yeah, I'm starting to see the
I am
Off of
also
this.
concerned. I will say this to Scrog also. I am also concerned about remaining stealthy. I'm not comfortable with the noises that your bag is making. It may reveal us to anything that we're wishing to hide from.
It stopped making noises about an hour ago, so we should be fine.
Okay, well in that case,
I'll just leave it. I would leave it because I would not want the smell to be followed us. Yes, I will leave it here. Let the townspeople to enjoy this. If there are
Yeah.
townspeople.
There's that way. Yeah. Consider the debt repaid.
Yeah. We'll leave this as somewhat of a barter.
we'll leave a note from Gladstone saying, "Here you go for that gold."
This Gladstone's gonna have quite a reputation.
Yeah.
So Rebo did mention, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that will be a path through the woods, and that so I recommend we
You
stick
said you'd
to
be
the
able to
path.
find your way. Yeah.
So let's look for this path, Scrog.
Yes.
Use your keen eyesight, and let's
All
get
right.
on our way because I'm not sure how long we can survive here.
All right, let's go.
Be sad if we stayed here waiting for daylight and starved.
We waited for 100 years for the sun to rise.
What
I
is
light
there
a
any
torch.
danger of my lantern like burning out and being useless, or can I just assume it'll always be useful?
I think at least to start with, you're fine. I mean, it's going to come with a
Okay,
few wicks and oil and whatever.
all right. I just don't want it to stand up in a keep and my lantern's no longer useful. I'll light my lantern once we get to the forest. Once we leave the lights of the town.
Okay, so you're headed out of the town now.
Now that we've hung around for
For our
hours and
purpose.
raided every possible thing we can do. If it were up to me, I'd be hitting every house. I'm just saying.
All right, so
I'd be
like I
dragging a
said,
bed out of one of the houses behind us so we could sleep in it.
he did steal all the candles out of the tavern. I'm not sure.
Now I'm regretting not taking those towels.
Well, it did seem like an odd choice. Towels can be very useful.
Should I go back and get them?
No.
Okay. All right.
Good Lord, man. This one loves shopping.
He loves shopping with it when you don't have to pay for anything.
I'm a collector
That's
of
called-
items.
That's
Yeah.
called something else. I'm a collector of pointless things.
It's not pointless. Nothing
I'm
I
a
took was pointless. I didn't take the pictures off the walls.
You're
I
a
guess
curator
there
of
weren't.
curiosities.
I didn't take the soap. I could have taken the soap.
Yeah, that might have been an oversight now that I think about it.
Yeah, you're
We-
making me regret
100
this.
candles to soap or towel.
I took like 5 candles.
Well, you
I
took
wish it
all
was
the
100.
candles there were to take. If it was 100, I'd take 100.
Yes, you never know. I could use wax to do something useful. Okay. We're on our way.
Yeah, you like for a while, like you can still see the light of the town, but as you get
Behind
further
us?
on down the road, the darkness sets in, but you get kind of used to the darkness too. It never becomes absolute. So you do start seeing some vague shapes ahead, so you can tell, or at least
it's kind of like a dusk or early dawn kind of lighting.
It's like it's almost like a permanent twilight.
It's the gloaming.
Or glooming.
Exactly. Is it grass around us, or are we
off to the side of the road? The road is still going.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can see that it's getting more and more overgrown beyond the edges of the road. But the road,
no signs of civilization, no farms or anything, nothing.
No, now that you're away from the town, more and more of the countryside is becoming wild as you get closer, and you can tell it looks like you're getting closer to the wilderness at this point. You can start.
We're going towards the forest. We're not in the forest yet.
Not quite yet. You're not.
I'm going to talk to the guys as we're walking. I'm going to say, perhaps we should keep our voices low at this point. And
what was that, sir?
I think we should. I am uncertain what wildlife lives here.
I can't hear you with that little.
I know that you, Scrog, you fear no animal or beast.
I've been down to hear him.
But the rest of us would perhaps like to avoid entangling with any local wildlife that may want to eat us. So perhaps we should, just let's be stealthy let's walk quietly.
I understand.
Because I notice that my friend Wee seems to be a bit tense going into these woods here, I do share a feature that I have called Eyes of the Night with him, which allows him to see clearly in any kind of darkness or light or anything out to a range of 300 feet.
Oh, wow.
And I also share that with my friend Scrog and Gladstone.
So is this just happened to us, or do you tell us this?
All of a sudden, I say, may the eyes of the goddess be with you, and also with you is the correct response if you need to know. And immediately you can just see out to 300 feet. And additionally, I would just like to make note to the DM that my passive perception, because my wisdom is so high, is 16. So if there is anything sort of sneaking around or hiding that could be visually seen, just to let you know, I have some pretty keen eyes.
Okay.
How do you see your passive perception?
If you look under your stats versus strength, dexterity, and con, if you go down, you'll see passive perception, which passive wisdom. Passive intelligence is your general investigation. Mine is pretty low.
Passive perception. I see it. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Mine's 13. I don't know if that's good or not.
That's good. 10 is average.
Okay. So suddenly I'm like, Elva, what have you done? What is this prayer you spoke? I feel like I can see now. Is this magic from your gods?
Yes, I happen to worship, and my goddess's domain is twilight and dim light, and I can grant this to you once every long rest for 1 hour.
Oh, so it lasts an hour.
Yes.
Well, let's hope we make it through these forests in that time.
In an hour.
In 1 hour. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how big this forest is.
We'll take it.
But I appreciate that, and thank you to your god, but there's no need to bring out your pamphlets.
Yeah.
I'm always joking that she's going to bring out her literature, because she's very religious.
Do you need some reading material?
I don't think that now is the time to read, but I do appreciate that.
When we rest.
Yes, of course, naturally.
And again, you're gratified to realize that your connection to your goddess is still strong, even though you're in a strange place. So for the rest of you, like, you can see more keenly, even though you could already make out the shapes of trees as you were getting closer and you saw you were entering the forest. There is still a path as you enter the wilderness, but it's not as broad or as cut as the road was, but you can still see it's a path that you can.
Are we starting to hear like birds and crickets and woodland type animals?
Not so much as you'd expect.
Oh man, all right.
So it's silent?
I wouldn't say silent, but you'd expect to be hearing a lot more night noises than you do.
Mm-hmm. What kind of pace is Scrog keeping? Is he walking fast? Are we having any trouble keeping up with his long legs?
I think the rest of us are having a double time, yeah.
Yeah. Scrog, my friend Scrog, please. Our legs are not as long as yours.
I take decisive strides.
If we're gonna walk, walk. Like a man.
We either walked or we are stopped.
I'm getting winded. But Scrog, friend, please, I don't want to stumble in the dark. Let's just slow down a bit.
I'm sorry. I shall walk at a half speed.
At unmanly speed.
I'll walk at a half man's speed.
Much like a child would walk.
As we look back, do we appear like we're getting farther away from the city? Like, do we feel like we're making progress? Or are we in one of those movies where you're just walking forever and you're not going anywhere?
I mean, the train's been changing around you, but at this point, you can barely see the city.
Okay, good.
There is a light fog setting in, so even the lights of the village disappear.
Oh, a light
time.
fog.
How inconvenient for
Into
us.
the mist.
All right, I'm even more nervous now.
As you get further into the wilderness and things like the overgrowth thickens, you do start to hear the distant sounds of what seems to be chanting.
Right. Hold up. Scrog. Friend Scrog. Hold up. Do you hear this? Do the others? Do you hear this noise?
I hear it. At least they can keep time.
Is it like in a language of any kind that we can understand? Or
You can't. You're not close enough to really make out what they're saying quite yet.
does it sound like someone speaking or like an animal like making a
It sounds
sound?
like several people like speaking
Chanting.
together. So it's chanting.
Specifically chanting, not singing.
There is rhythm to it.
So it's like an intelligent thing making these sounds.
Yeah.
Chanting is never great. Singing is always wonderful. Chanting is highly sus.
Well, chanting is fine, but kind of in the woods in the middle of the night, everything's sus.
Yes, as much as I hate to do this, believe me, I believe I should scout ahead for a moment. So, if you, Elva, please, just hang back for a minute.
Follow along closely.
No. As long as you're wearing this heavy armor, I would like you to stay behind. And Scrog especially, I assume Scrog is not quiet. Is Scrog, as he's walking, is he making a lot of noise?
Scrog should actually be extremely quiet because barbarians have no armor. So he's like in soft, nice clothes. He's also got a fairly high deck, so he should be able to.
So as he's walking, I can perceive that he's stealthy.
I will lead the way. You should hide behind me.
Scrog and I are going to go check this out.
We will investigate these whispers in the shadows.
And it's not that I don't respect you others, it's just that you're very loud. Understand?
No disrespect taken. Fine.
Oh yeah.
Especially Gladstone.
Would you like to hold my hand?
Play my pot and spoon.
Shall I carry you like a weakened child?
There's no need for that. I prefer to be on my feet in case I need to run.
So we put out our torches, right? I assume, right? No.
Yeah, we still have this handy with night vision, so yes, absolutely, we should dim our torches and use our stealth to sneak up as best as we can. Do we need to make a stealth roll?
Yeah, because you are sneaking up on people now.
All right, I will make my stealth roll, and it is a whopping 13. What is going on with my rolls?
Where do I make a stealth roll?
It's one of your skills on the...
So you see that long list of skills there towards the bottom, you'll see stealth and you'll have like a +2 or something next to it.
I just click on +2.
Mm-hmm.
You got a 1.
Oh,
God.
no.
All right,
That's
how about
just a
this?
1.
Let me
He
know.
just
Critical
tripped over
fail.
a branch and fell down screaming.
Loudly.
Like he tripped over a branch and fell into a tree, and the tree fell.
All right. Let me know if we can do this. I'm going to stop because we haven't progressed very far, I assume, right? I'm going to give Scrog a stern look and say, "Are you sure you're up for this?"
The storm's in. I cannot believe. I'm like, I just took a face plant into.
You just felled a worthy foe.
Have we been heard by anything that we can tell?
Oh, you don't hear the chanting anymore.
Oh, no.
Oh.
All right. I suggest we backpedal stealthily as we can to where we were with the others and
And I'm sitting there
prepare for trouble.
with a grin on my face. Good job, guys.
Guys.
Well, they got a few yards ahead of us.
Okay.
So you're not standing there with them. They got a little bit into it.
All right, so
knocked the tree over.
we're going to backpedal. If it's okay with Scrog, I suggest we go back to the others.
I humbly ask for your pardon. That was my fault entirely.
Yes, I agree.
You do, in this distant silence, now hear a different voice, and it sounds like a man crying out.
So as we come back, are you guys going to ask like what we saw or anything?
No, I'm going to know by the fact that you were gone for 3 minutes.
And you heard, did you
And
hear the
I heard a
noise?
tree come down.
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna.
Did you just, from our perspective, like he just stomped whoever was chanting, because he just walked off into the woods. There was a massive crash, and all sound stopped. What did you do to those people?
What did you do to that
Murdered?
tree, Scrog?
Yeah. Apologies. My feet got ahead of me.
All right, I suggest everyone that we remain quiet and draw our weapons. Perhaps we should even get off of this road into the woods just a little bit.
hide into the woods? Does the man appear to be screaming out like help, like something's wrong, or does he sound like he's screaming for his friends to come back him up because he heard a bear?
You haven't advanced, so you can barely hear. You just hear the difference that the chanting stopped, and there's a distant single voice crying out.
All right, I do
So you
exactly what my friend we just suggested. I draw. No, I don't draw a weapon. I unshoulder my shield and put that in front of me, and I try to sneakily and quietly in my scale mail hop into the woods behind a tree, off the trail.
Yeah, what would we roll to hide, like off the trail? Is that
Stealth.
You
would
would
just
also?
click. Yep, stealth again. I'll just go ahead and roll now. I get a 12.
Okay, I will
Which
roll
is
also. That's not bad,
Better
right?
than
What's
no one is disadvantaged with stealth but me because I have
Yeah.
the big armor on.
All right, let's see if I can manage to do this time. Roll. There it goes. God bless. 13.
That's good. That's good.
Well, it's not.
All right.
It's not great.
It's not great, but there's no one around. You're hiding in the dark from no
I'm
one.
rolling stealth. Okay, here we
Well,
go.
that we know of.
13,
Okay.
15.
Oh, 15. Yeah, because you got
Well,
your
15 is
bonuses.
the total, yeah.
What did Gladstone get?
Is he even trying, or is he just drunkenly stumbling into the
Yeah.
woods?
He follows you guys. So whether he's at a disadvantage is a different question. You got a 3. Oh my god.
Oh,
Gladstone.
He's not doing great
It's weird
at all.
because you're like also
Gladstone
leading it.
fell into the road and is just kind of flattening out.
Well, it's funny though because you're also everything you're saying mostly is like the DM stuff and not Gladstone. Gladstone gives the impression it's like just this weird, just like silent, like old, like Weekend at Bernie's drunk, just following us along.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't want Gladstone to influence you guys because he was originally going to be part of the team, but then that's when we were going to have a different DM. So now he's just an extra pair of hands. But yeah, so he's kind of just flopping on the ground in the path and holding.
Is there anything I can do
perfectly
to
still.
like help him,
Help
like throw
him,
a cloak
yeah.
on him or something? Or-
I think both of us perform the help action right now.
you can get him out of the path.
You can just drag him back and cover him with what we can. All right, so we're gonna wait for a couple
Yeah,
minutes.
we don't even know if something's coming toward us, right?
Well, we just want to make sure nothing
Yeah.
is coming. It's see if it gets louder or quieter, and if it doesn't change, then we can try again.
No, after a moment or two, actually, you can hear distantly that the chanting has started back up again. It doesn't sound any further away or any closer.
All right, then.
Maybe we should all make our way quietly in that direction and see if we can creep up on them.
I think we should try sneaking again,
Okay.
but this time I'm
Gladstone,
Scrog.
I'm with you.
Are you up for this?
I'm up for it. I shall not fall again.
Because I'm not thrilled about going by myself. I'm not trying to act. Look, I ain't trying to get killed out here.
The path is taking you closer to them. If you're wanting to sneak, though, you would have to get off the path
Yeah,
because
and
you
cut through
don't
the
know.
woods.
For all you know, they're standing on the path.
Why don't we try talking to them?
No, not yet. You don't understand the purpose of sneaking. We are trying to see what we can see before we make contact.
We have
That is-
business. They have theirs. I don't see the problem.
Perhaps you should stay behind.
No, I shall do as I'm told.
All right. Well, we're just going to sneak and look, and then we're going to come back and tell the others.
Then after we
so
talk
we
to
can
them.
make a decision as a group how we should address this issue, okay?
Okay.
All right. As the most intelligent, I believe I should be the leader. I'm just putting it out there. All right, so I'm going to roll stealth again, and we're going to sneak through the woods, and God bless, 12. So I'm not doing good. Maybe because I'm nervous. Maybe because I'm in an unfamiliar forest and I'm scared, but I got a 12.
All right. 8 plus.
It's 10.
Yeah, so
Plus
that's
2,
like
your
average,
dex bonus.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they would be they'd probably be at a disadvantage because they're not listening for you, they're chanting.
Yeah,
So
they're
not
making
gonna
noise.
Yeah.
We don't know that they're not listening to us. They may have scouts. They may have guards.
But we're trying to get close enough just to hear better. I don't know if there'd be like, you know what I mean? We're not like,
Well, I was hoping we could see.
well,
like,
whatever.
what
we're
looking
just
at.
trying to, yeah.
Well, Gladstone got an 11 this time, so he's at least
There you go.
steady on his feet.
No, Gladstone's staying behind. We had decided that we're not going as a
No,
group.
he decided not to. He's just involved in gathers.
He misunderstood the plan.
Gladstone, go back.
He's a human bobblehead at this point. That's what I like. It's like, okay.
All right, so do we get close enough to see, or do they hear us?
Well, as you're getting closer, first of all, the voices of the chanting are getting louder. You can at least make out words, even if you don't understand them.
Okay.
And through the foliage, you can see as you get closer the light of what seems to be torch flame.
Oh, just like a single torch or a bunch of torches?
No, a few. Like it looks like maybe 4 to 6,
Ooh.
something like that, gathered around, like in not a very tight cluster, but what seems to be a grouping.
Can we get any closer? Or?
So far, you don't seem to have stopped the chanting anymore.
All right, I'm going to try to go closer.
You can hear the male voice now calling out on top of the chanting. You just hear a man going, "Devil woman, get off of me! I'll cut your hearts out." And they just keep chanting.
All right. I motion to Scrog. I'm like, we're going to go try to get a little closer.
Yeah.
And Gladstone is still there when you look back.
No, Gladstone.
So can somebody tie a string to him?
Yes. I'm going to tell Gladstone. I'm just, stay here.
This is the best character art. He's just
All right, I'm going to roll again this time. Oh, this time I got a 20.
Oh.
Nice. All right, yeah, so you can get right up on the gathering.
All right.
And so you see some between the torches and your newfound ability to see in the dark, like you can now see that it's a group of robed women, and they're standing around a man who appears to be bound to a tree.
Robed women?
Robed women.
And what does this man look like?
He looks rough and gruff and not well to where he looks very upset.
I mean, is he injured?
It doesn't appear to be, but he is trying to get loose.
And then are these women armed or?
Well, the leader is standing close to him, and she seems to have what looks like, it's hard to tell because it doesn't really look like a metal dagger, but it's a knife that looks almost like a giant thorn.
All right. I'm going to motion towards Scrog and hopefully not Gladstone. Let's go back and get the others.
Scrog acknowledges. Gladstone's standing there just looking at him.
I guess we'll roll again to see if they hear us leaving.
Gladstone's like taking his
Oh, I
sword
got
out.
another 20.
Oh, God.
Now I'm doing good.
Here we go. Stealth. What's a 22?
Oh.
Ooh.
Gladstone's going with you, so it's...
No, Gladstone, no.
But you said let's go back. Yeah, you got like a 6. So...
Okay, a natural 20, like if you get a B, just so you know, if you get a natural 20, that's an automatic
it's
success.
Like the one. It doesn't
super
matter
success.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but like if you hit somebody with that, you do what's called a critical. Like
Right.
you get bonuses.
Yeah, I know that from video games, that stuff. But
Yeah, so as you're sneaking,
Hold on, I like the idea that we turns around and I'm just gone. It's like, where did you?
Holy crap!
You just evaporate into the darkness.
That's a Batman exit.
meanwhile, Gladstone is practically stomping through the brush because he rolled a 6. So he's like, "Let's go back and get the others."
Do they hear us leave, or are we able to get back to?
You can still hear the chanting and the screaming, but both of which sound like they're not going to go on for very much longer.
All right, so we get
Do
back
I
to
hear screaming where I am?
You can't make out what's being said, but you can hear the other voice calling out on top of the chants.
So we get back to Elva at this point, who apparently is by herself. I apologize, Elva. I thought Gladstone was going to stay with you. Perhaps
No
next
worries.
time you may use your strength to hold him back. What we saw was a ring of robed women performing some kind of ritual. How many were there?
It looked maybe 6.
Okay, there were 6 of them, so they outnumber us. And there is a man tied to a tree. I fear that they're going to do harm to this man, but we can't tell who, if either of them, are good or evil.
That's a good point.
I feel like perhaps we should intervene, but until we determine if that man is dangerous or evil, we shouldn't perhaps fight them yet. We should inquire what's going on. But I am concerned that they outnumber us.
Pardon
but they
me.
don't look... Only one of them seems to be armed.
Say no more. I got this.
Gladstone. No.
Just let me do what I do.
What were you going to say, Elva?
I am complete. As soon as Gladstone started talking, I definitely think we should go and intervene in the situation because that guy sounds like this is not consensual. I don't think he knows the safe word.
Yeah.
So
We get that vibe.
But there is the possibility that he is a dangerous, violent...
Right.
So
we're not running in there, knives out.
No, but I do want my hand on my sword.
Yeah.
Because these women might also be horrifying druids of some sort.
All right. So I start making my way in that general direction, and I'm not being.
Well, I think at that point you guys are talking and Scrog's already started walking.
Yeah.
We need to work on our teamwork.
He didn't say a word, but he's just walking down the path towards him.
We need to work on our coordination as a team.
I'm in Scrog's wake. I am right behind him. I've got the shield up because it's got my holy symbol on the shield, but I'm not striking an aggressive pose or whatever, and I'm not sneaking because I don't want them to be startled when we walk up.
Gladstone's following, and you can see he has taken out his loot.
Okay, I'm going to do something different since we're all going our own way. I'm going to sneak again and try to get flank them a little bit in case something goes bad. And I'm going to motion towards the others like I'm going to go around and flank so they know where I'm doing.
I look at him and chuckle and keep walking. It's like, I think there's a moment when everybody walks away. You're like, crap, guys. Just abandons you all of a sudden.
I only got a 13, but I'm going to try to sneak to the side in case things go down. I need to rush in and do something.
Okay. Well, Scrog definitely has the stride, so he's ahead of, and he started walking first, so he's ahead of the group. So you start to see the firelight from the torches, and you can hear the increased, the more frequent cadence of the chanting. They seem to be building to something, and you can hear the screams of the man.
Hail, travelers! I speak.
So they stop.
Me and my companions were just inquiring to what you are doing.
Smooth move.
What the hell does it look like they're doing? These witches are feeding me to their bitch goddess. That's the man saying that.
That sounds...
No. Excuse me, sir. I'd like you to rephrase that, please. Could you? Let's just step back 10 seconds.
So the leader of the druid women is the one standing closest to him with the knife. Like, she's like, the rest of them are obviously, they've seen all of you, although one by one you seem to be popping out of different parts of the woods. So they're a little unnerved, but the leader has at least decided, like, Who are you to interfere with the justice of the forest?
I'd like to know at what point Gladstone starts to begin strumming that lute. That is honestly what I'm waiting for.
That's like the number one suspenseful moment because she's like waiting in the wings for his moment.
No real interruption. We would just sort of like to know what's happening here and why it's happening. I mean, we've walked up on 6 people with another person tied to a tree and a knife out. If you could just give us the quick synopsis so that we feel good about leaving this whole situation, that'd be great. Thanks.
He is a killer of trees.
Oh.
Well, then have at it, ladies. No.
Don't mean to interrupt.
All right. I'm still hiding because I'm not sure how this is going down.
And the judgment is that he's going to die now because he killed a tree.
Yes. You hear me? They're crazy.
How many trees did this man kill?
Yeah, because our friend Scrog just killed a tree a minute ago.
That's amazing.
Is that the way you want to take the conversation?
Surely it was an accident.
Were these sacred trees, sentient trees?
All trees are sacred. How many do you think fall under the blade of a woodcutter in the lifetime?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to come out since everyone's just staring.
That's a difficult point. Yes, sir.
Pardon me, ladies. I feel it remiss if we don't tell you that we're uncomfortable with the killing of a man, sacrificing a live, sentient person to a god or goddess of yours, especially for doing something that in our culture is common. I am certain he was not aware of your worshipping of the trees before he cut them down. Is that right, sir?
Maybe this is a teachable moment. Is that what you're? He obviously didn't know that those trees were important.
She just smiles at this point. She says, well, maybe you can decide with him. And then all of them at once just bust out running back into the forest.
Okay, so they're not coming at us. They're leaving.
Decide what?
I'm asking them. Decide what? What is going on here?
Gladstone steps out of the shadows. People say that the end of the world is coming and it's coming on fast.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to the guy. What is your name, sir?
Who is it that wants to know? He's looking at you.
Man, you're kind of a jackass, though.
You're a queer-looking lot to be asking.
Oh gosh.
I am and we are a band of bards.
You talking
called
riddles?
Wyzyrd Skyzyrd. I'm sure you've heard of us, but no autographs, please.
I am only myself.
Are you from this land, or have you traveled here from another?
The question seems to really confuse him.
What have you done to anger these women?
I've done what a woodcutter does. I chopped the wood.
So you are a woodcutter by trade. Do you live near here?
Near here.
Yes, in these woods. Do you live in these woods?
Yes, near here.
Do you speak languages?
I live near here.
Common. These
Yes, I live near here.
Are you armed, sir?
Only with my axe. He nods his head. It's on the ground. But he's still tied to a tree so far, so...
Yeah.
Do you mean us harm?
No, I mean no one harm. I'm but a woodcutter.
It seems to me that the ladies don't want you to cut down their trees, though. Do you think maybe that you could sort of like push off to a different area?
Woodcutters are safe nowhere from the tree women in these woods.
Perhaps we can negotiate with these tree women.
Yeah.
Let's cut you loose, but first I would like our friend Scrog?
Scrog.
I would like our friend Scrog to hold on to your axe until we become more familiar with you, if that's all right.
Yes, I will keep this toy with me.
So Scrog grabs the axe, and I'm like, look at the others and like, watch him, and then I'm going to cut his ropes. Will you take us to your house, sir?
My home is far. I can take you as far as the inn of the last haven, if that's where you wish to go. But that is as far through the wilderness.
What is this haven?
It's a place for those like me.
Talking to this guy's like pulling teeth.
Right? Such as myself. Like, this is a guy who hasn't had to do a lot of explaining of himself before.
Not really used to this whole selling myself thing.
You guys are the most colorful group he's running.
All right, I'm going to ask the others. I'm like, do you believe this haven to be a worthwhile place to visit, or is there a danger that it's too far off the path and that we will lose track of our goal?
Well, at this point, we have 2 points on this map. One where we came from and that point. I think we should move there.
All right. I would like to see other people from this land and try to get a better feel for where we are and what we're facing.
And if we stay here, we're dealing with murderous druids. So maybe going to Haven is not a bad idea.
Excellent point.
Well, lead us to this haven, sir, and we will follow you.
Obliged, since you saved me, I can take you there. For God knows there's nothing in these woods but demon lovers and savages lower than beasts.
Oh, sir.
Were you chopping wood near here?
Yes.
Why so far from your home?
Well, we've been driven.
Driven by
the time
what?
was where woodcutters could take the wood where we found it, and it seems we're driven deeper and deeper into this damnable forest.
What is driving you, sir? Stuff.
Yeah. Our ways are old ways.
Work with me, man.
I think we need to tie him back up.
Give me a little, sir.
How did these women overpower you?
They took me when I wasn't ready for it.
Were you passing bows?
Are you familiar with them? Have you dealt with them before?
I know of their kind. And as to bowels, sir, that's precisely what they were trying to rip from me to tie around the tree.
So tell us what you know about these druishes. Are they violent? Are they dangerous?
They tie people to trees and try to rip their bowels out, so yes. I would say yes.
But they don't want you to cut down their trees, so...
Yeah, they're very strict about that.
Is there a way to maybe discuss with them, like if there are certain trees that you could cut down, like sick trees or old trees?
To them, the trees are better than the folk that need them for their survival. And they serve the dark goddess Vogamore. All flesh is but a tribute to her.
Ooh.
Yes, I feel like we should probably avoid these women.
I do my best.
I don't see how they're going to help us on our journey, but they may have some arcane knowledge that would be useful.
The forest has many dangers, and they are among them. This is not a safe place for decent folk.
Do you think that this is part of the judgment? That we are saving his life? Or should we be negotiating with these women? Or is this some distraction meant to pull us off of our quest? Something that perhaps will lead us into a dangerous path?
Do you think that they were too far away to hear my song when they were running away?
I think they heard your beautiful music, Gladstone.
If we're talking about danger, it might be easier to handle one person than a group of women that they turn against us.
Yes, I'm just wondering because I don't fully understand our purpose here. If this were a normal, we just traveled and found this, that would be one thing, but we were given a specific thing that we were supposed to do, but it was so vague that I don't know that this is part of the plan or if this is meant to distract us. Perhaps the judgment would be that we didn't do what we were told.
Yeah, I don't know. This whole place, the whole thing feels like a weird dream.
And turn around and like, he's talking? It sounds like she's...
The woodman.
I haven't heard you talk yet.
I don't know if he hears us doing this or not. We're talking about the quest and all this stuff.
Either way, we can't leave this man to be disemboweled. So
yes.
regardless.
That's a good line to draw.
Yeah, I suppose we'll escort him to a safe place and then,
if we feel like we're off the path, we can get back on the path. But first, let's make sure that he goes to a safe place and is out of the woods and away from the scary ladies.
All right. I agree with Elva.
I agree as well.
And Gladstone, he just follows us. So.
And if he gives us sass, we'll tie him up and I'll carry him on my shoulders.
There we go.
I like that plan.
Good thinking.
Perhaps you can do that with Gladstone next time we're sneaking.
We might need to. You might not be able to ambulate effectively.
Ambulate. All right. So we're going to follow this dude. Tell us more about this Haven friend who has not yet given us his name.
You can call me Greenwich.
Greenwich. Tell us more about this Haven. Is it a village of some sort?
It's an inn. The Inn of the Last Haven is a resting place.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Is it a safe place for travelers, then?
It can be. Obviously, for men such as myself, it is, so...
It can be, or it can be a horribly dangerous place. Like useless information. All right.
Some people call it a murder pit.
Have you seen... Is he human? I guess just standard human.
Yeah, he's like kind of tall, but yeah, he's just a normal human.
Have you seen people like us? And I motion towards my pointy ears.
No, the forest is a strange place, but no, I have not seen your kind before. Who do you call your gods, by the way?
How many people live in where you live in this civilized area?
You ask a lot of questions without answering any.
Well, I'm sorry, did you ask us a question?
I wanted to know who you call your gods.
Well, I remain unaffiliated.
My people have many gods, Great Sky Mother being the foremost among them.
Our mother goddess again. Glad says, I sing the praises of anything that separates me from my wits.
What god do you worship, friend?
I serve the Formandir.
The Formandir?
Hells bells.
Tell us about this Formandir.
You haven't heard of Morfar's kin?
We are travelers,
God.
sir, from a distant land, and I have not
You
heard
are
of this.
indeed a queer lot. Where did you say you came from? What realms were these distant realms of yours?
What is the name of my realm? Do I know? I mean, I haven't.
Where I come from, I only have one realm.
Yeah, we
This is
didn't name
news
it.
to me that there's the multiple realms.
Yeah, we call it the realm.
We each hail from a different land, but we have come together and we are traveling as a band of bards. You probably would not have heard of
Tell
it.
him. Tell him about Wyzyrd Skyzyrd. That's Gladstone. Yeah, tell him.
We go by the name of Wyzyrd Skyzyrd. I'm sure you've heard of us.
The Wyzyrd Skyzyrd. No, I can't say I have. Although I'm not much for music.
Well, you'll change your mind when you hear us playing, friend.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we can do that at this haven of yours.
Yes.
Are there other people at this haven?
Yes, it is a safe space for the folk such as I to find some sanctuary from the dangers of the wilderness.
Do you see travelers often from other realms like us?
Not often, I would say, but it is not unknown. It is strange to find strangers who come from so far off they cannot tell me where they come from. And it is stranger still to find those who have never heard of the gods of the Forminder. But these are strange times.
Where do I come from? Does it matter? I mean, do I know? Is there a
Doesn't matter.
word?
You can make it up. Like, it doesn't.
Come
since
from
you just-
Waterdeep, Faerun.
Okay, I'll say. Is that where you come from?
Mhm.
Okay.
You want to come from the Forgotten Realms?
All right, I'll just tell him because I don't
I'm from
know.
the world of Greyhawk. That's still a thing.
I'm from the Forgotten Realms, and
Hmm.
I told you wouldn't have heard of it.
I could see that, yes. Feels like all the realms are forgotten these days as I wander through these godforsaken woods just looking for a tree to chop down without being murdered.
Maybe you should stay closer to the forest edge.
Well, he said he was driven in by something that he has yet to describe to us.
The forest is full of dangers, but beyond the forest, sometimes more dangerous still.
Look, between the forest and the tavern, is there like a first tree?
Is there a tree next to the tavern?
Yeah.
The inn, it is within the forest. It is a sanctuary within the bounds of the forest.
This is a
doesn't get a lot of walk-in traffic.
silly place.
Do the people around this haven, the people that you know from this realm, are they kind to strangers, to travelers, or do they look ill upon them?
Well, strangers are not often met with kindness, but that is because strangers are often dangerous themselves, as you can see with the tree women. We don't often welcome newcomers.
I hope that you will introduce us to these people as friendly travelers. We do not mean harm. In fact, we came here to help people such as yourself.
You came to succor me, and as I said, I will introduce you as such.
You came to what? Succor me in? What do you say?
Offer me succor.
I didn't offer to succor you at all, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
I think you misunderstood our...
Pardon me.
All right.
Hey, yeah, but price is the price if that's what it takes to get in. Am I right, guys?
Are we starting to hear birds and crickets and shit yet?
No, like you can't really identify any kind of animals. Like what you hear mostly is just the rustling of wind through the tree.
How far have we wandered off of the path?
He's not continuing along where we're going, right?
No, he's taking you further into the wilderness.
Yeah.
You may have missed when Reba was telling them he wasn't very specific about where they were headed, but you are headed through the wilderness towards the caverns. So your goal is to get through the wilderness.
Caverns.
Okay, so we still believe that we're headed towards the caverns?
Like you said, you don't know where else to go.
Yeah.
I already do not trust this person, but it might as well be. Everything here is unknown, so...
Are we not saying that in front of him, right? We're not saying, I don't trust this person.
But he is small, and I could crush him.
I have no shame saying this in front of him.
We're speaking in Elven. Amongst ourselves, we're talking in Elven.
Yeah.
Does he appear? Let me roll my perception.
He's like, that language sounds pretty tree-ish.
Okay. I rolled a 20, 17 plus 3 on perception. So does it seem like he understands what we're saying?
No.
Okay.
He does not at all look trustful of the fact that you just all started talking in an alien language that he can't understand.
They're speaking in a language. I'm pretty sure it was tree-ish.
It was Druish. I think they were all Druish.
Forgive me, sir, I say to him. I do not mean to exclude you from a conversation. It is our tradition to speak in our native tongue.
Amongst each other.
Amongst each other, yes.
And I'm quite sophisticated, and I speak in multiple tongues.
The tongue of your sky mother.
Yes, sir. You know of the place? Have you been to my realm?
No.
Did somebody say we worship the Sky Mother?
My people worship
he said
Sky
he
Mother.
worshipped the Sky Mother.
Oh, okay. I missed it.
Greenwich isn't having it.
And I told him I'm unaffiliated. He didn't seem to care about that.
Yeah, I trust that a little bit more.
Oh, I pointedly say to Greenwich.
Here we go. Here comes the literature.
Here's where we all part ways.
I ready my axe.
Do you have a problem with people worshiping different gods? Is this the kind of place where you have to worship just the Fermanders?
People can worship whatever god they like, but I mistrust the goddess mother of these tree women.
Got it. Well, just to put your mind at ease, we definitely do not worship their goddess.
Yes, we've not even heard of this goddess before we ran into you.
We don't know who that goddess is. We never met her. if that makes you feel any better.
He just keeps walking.
Chewing his lip.
I hope everyone in this town in this place is not as reticent to speak as you are. So.
Don't get too many visitors, do you?
In the middle of the woods, no.
Are there singers in this town?
There is no town in the wilderness. There's only the inn.
Right.
So, tell me more about this.
Maybe we could bring a light to the dark of this place, is what I'm hearing, says Gladstone.
Yeah. Gladstone exists for one reason and one reason only. To party. And to play his music.
He was born to form this band.
He said, I want to rock and roll all night.
Yeah. And part of every day.
Will there be victuals and ale at this tavern?
Yes.
So I am curious, sir, if I forgive me if I speak too much. I do not like walking in silence. Yeah, I am a chatterbox, as they say in my land. This haven, in the middle of a forest, is a strange place to have an inn, is it not?
I agree with that.
Especially if there are not many travelers, as you say.
Well, those are the old ways. As I said, we're forced to travel deeper into the wilderness to maintain our way of life. He looks at Scrog. He's like, I believe they will like you very much there. You seem like the kind of person that
they like to eat, visit with.
I feel like I'm liked everywhere.
Yes. I am well liked in all lands.
This is not new to me.
Sounds exactly correct. Yes. I like that.
I think this, what's this character's name again?
Greenwich.
Yeah, I think he's a little problematic.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Well, he's a common. Are we speaking Elvish to each other?
No, we're talking in Elven again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elvish.
He is a common man of the common folk, a working man. I've
think
seen
he likes
many of his
elves.
type in my travels. They don't hold the most progressive views, but hopefully they mean no harm.
Yes, we have some people like this in my realm too. They're called outcasts and freaks. They do not pay their taxes.
He is leading us to what I hope to be a place where we can learn more about this land. So there's no harm in following him thus far.
I would just like to eat, so I'm still not scared of him.
Yeah, I fear no man.
Again, it's one of him and many of those tree women.
Don't take this the wrong way. He was overpowered by women wearing robes.
Robed women with torches.
Well, my mother is the strongest one in my family, though.
My mother has defeated many men in battle.
Yeah. But this is a common among us.
I'm caring less and less about us offending him with speaking in Elvish since he's
kind of just made his peace with it at this point.
Yeah, and he seems so rude. I'm not trying to be, friendly to him now.
So we just keep walking with him, yeah.
Yeah, we're just walking and talking. Scrog, if we become lost, Rebo gave me some magic seeds. And if I plant one, he says a sign will grow, pointing us in the direction we need to go.
Of the quest.
To fulfill the quest. We only have a few of them, so we can't use them until we really need to, but that's why I'm not too afraid of leaving the path.
Very nice.
I'd be careful where I did that. You heard a different voice calling out to you in Elvish from the dark.
I freeze. What direction did that come from?
It sounds like it came off one of the offshoots paths, and also it sounded kind of above you.
What new devilry is this?
I am definitely going to look. Do I do perception or?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to roll a perception and
you
see.
You should still have the ability to see the dark at this point.
11.
How about this? Since you heard the voice, it's not really perception. You're investigating because you're searching for something specific. Why don't you roll an investigation check?
That's a good idea. Ooh, a B. 24. Boom. Boom goes the dynamite. So I right on him.
Everybody heard that, including Greenwich, although it was in Elvish, so he didn't understand it.
So do I see this elf with my 24?
It's not an elf. When you look up in the trees, you can actually see what looks like a smaller man. And he seems to be bound up in the tree with what looks like silken threading, almost like a cocoon.
All right, I point him out to the others in case they don't see him. I like perceived him there, but I point him to the others. Do you see there?
Yeah, Gladstone's like, I see him. I see him too.
Good day, sir.
Hello.
Hi.
He's now speaking in at least not Elvish. Like, it's strange to you, like, when everyone else speaks to you outside of a language specific like Elvish, it's not the common tongue, but you understand it. And that's what he's speaking now.
So it's like we got a universal translator going?
Maybe.
The magic of this realm just, allows us to understand it.
You're hearing the language you expect to hear, but you can still kind of tell. But when he said those initial words, they were in Elvish because you were speaking Elvish.
What brings you to be bound in this manner?
Amazing luck.
Are you in need of assistance?
That would be great.
Do you want us
If you would be so kind.
to cut you down out of the web?
I would, yes.
How
exactly
is
that.
Greenwich responding to this?
He's not happy about any newcomer.
Oh, but he doesn't understand him now.
He seems to be speaking the tongue that everyone can understand.
Okay.
I'm going to look at Greenwich and say, have you seen this type of person before?
No.
I'm going to yell up to the guy. Good day, sir. We will be up and help you just as soon as we can. My name is Wee.
My name is Scrog.
Elva.
We all bow.
We're a band of traveling bards. We are known as Wyzyrd Skyzyrd. I'm sure you've heard of us.
Give me my axe. I'll take him down right now.
No, I think we'll handle it. Thank you, friend. Are you from this land, sir? I'm going to start climbing up to cut him down, I guess. Or who's the best climber here?
Scrog with his athletics.
Scrog, will you kindly scamper up this tree and cut this man free as carefully and safely as you can?
It will be
DM,
done.
do you want him to roll acrobatics or athletics? Is it more of like a brute force going up the tree?
You're climbing, so I think it's
Athletics.
athletics.
All right.
All
So,
right.
Scrog?
5 plus 5 is 10.
Oh, that's
Please.
good.
Yeah, don't
That's
fall
good.
off the tree.
That's just it takes a
and
while.
land,
It's not
and
pretty.
land on us, right?
But you scamper up, right?
Yeah.
How's he do, DM?
And you're able to climb the tree.
The tree is climbed.
Consider that tree climbed.
And then no one here is going to care about what put him in the webbing.
We're keeping an eye out.
While the strongest among us climbs a tree, the rest of you are watching for danger.
That's
Yes.
right. That's exactly
And
what
I'm
I was going to say.
Well, Scrog can handle himself if he runs into anything in the
I
trees.
denied my axe to defend myself.
Sir, we are all armed. You need not worry. We are experienced warriors in our own right.
Who would worry being surrounded unarmed by armed people?
There are armed people here? Oh, you're talking about yourself.
I'm talking about you. You just said you're armed.
Yes.
Well, as I am not.
While y'all are having that conversation, I am using my investigation to search out.
He started this conversation by saying, I am we, and we are Wyzyrd Skyzyrd. So this guy thinks that you're some kind of like talker of riddles.
I don't know how to get around that. You'll just have to figure that out by context.
Yeah, so roll perception, Megan, and see, are you
Perception.
you detect anything
All right.
in the
Do I
perimeter?
detect anything? 13. So you would weigh that against the stealth roll of whatever might be lurking in the shadows.
Doesn't seem like anything is right now.
We don't have any ranged weapons, do we? Well, you have a crossbow. Okay.
And
all right.
spells.
Yeah, okay. So, friend, I'm talking to the... What is your name, friend?
Well, I'm Kitaroki, the king of the wood.
Oh, the king of the wood. How handy.
Mm-hmm. You lie like him. That's what Greenwich says back.
Are you from this realm?
Well, aren't we all from the place we are?
Actually, no. We are not from this realm. Is Scrog up there cutting them down, or?
To be fair, then, I should say I am from this realm. Although I am bound here, but that's a different thing.
Do you mean us harm by any chance?
I mean no man harm. Nor woman.
All right, has Scrog cut him down, or is he?
Yeah, I cut him down.
What does he look like, Sean?
Like I said, he's just a diminutive person. He looks like a man mostly.
Like a hobbit size, or like just a...
No, but he is smaller. Like Danny DeVito size.
Oh, okay.
No,
Little
yeah,
tiny petite
DeVito
person?
size.
That's like
Or
hobbits.
short, stocky, like Danny DeVito?
Well, short. I don't know about stocky, but I mean,
Okay.
he's just
A little
like
tiny guy.
He's a
How's he
little
dressed?
shortish man.
So
How's he
he's a
dressed?
Daniel Radcliffe, if you will.
Daniel Radcliffe, like a Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Like
How's he
that.
dressed?
He seems like he's dressed normally, casual clothing.
Okay, not royal clothes, not expensive looking royalty or anything.
Not out of place for the wilderness, but I mean,
Well,
Just
he's
normal.
the king of the realm, so does he look kingly?
King
Does he
of
have a
the wood.
crown?
he said he was the king of the wood, but
King of the wood.
So,
Does he know our Greenwich guy?
what's his name again? Teriyaki? What is it?
Teriyaki.
Teriyaki.
That's it.
Kitaroki.
Kitaroki was the name he gave.
Kita
So,
Roki.
Kitaroki, you say you are the king of this wood.
Indeed. Greenwich does not look like he believes that at all.
I'm going to speak to him in Elvish now. Tell me, friend Kitaroki, in Elvish, if you could, what is the danger of using these seeds?
I would be careful what I put in the ground here, he says, in Elvish,
And why is that?
because a lot of creatures have a lot of roots in the ground here.
So we may disturb some local flora or fauna,
Flora, yes.
and it could be aggressive towards us.
Anything's aggressive when attacked.
And planting a seed would be an attack to this thing.
If you were to attack its roots,
So we should just be careful where we dig, is what you're saying.
I would be careful what you do in the earth of this wood, yes.
Is everybody here so rude?
He's trying to give you advice.
Where do you live, Kita?
My home is not far from here, but it's not for the likes of woodcutters to know.
So you don't get along with the woodcutters?
Not typically. Are you still talking in Elvish?
Yes.
So yes, he's still responding in Elvish.
And what is your problem with woodcutters?
The woods in general do not take kindly to woodcutters.
So you are a friend of the woods.
In this place, it is good to be a friend of the woods, yes.
Do the trees here have sentience of some kind, or?
I don't know why that matters to you.
I'm just curious.
The trees are alive and they feel.
Kita, could the woodsman survive without cutting down the trees?
Not as woodcutters,
How would they survive? What would they survive as?
something other than woodcutters, wouldn't they?
What do they use the wood for? Do they use it for their fireplaces, or?
He seems reluctant. He's looking at Greenwich, and Greenwich does not look very happy. Perhaps this conversation would be best had somewhere outside the Dreamweaver's lair.
The
Dreamweavers?
Dreamweaver? Dreamweaver.
Yeah.
We are on our way to this place called Haven. Are you familiar with it?
Any place the woodcutters called Haven, I would not go to.
Have you been there before? What is your review?
What is the Yelp of this place?
Yeah.
Are you saying this Haven is dangerous to us?
I'm saying most of those who find Haven there find it nowhere else ever again.
Oh. I'm going to need to roll some kind of perception or something and see if I can
Insight.
feel out. Yeah, insight.
Insight.
Because I don't know
Good
who
call.
to believe. Be good this time, please. 18.
Nice.
Yeah, you're getting a strong sense that he's not lying. He's not talking in circles either, but yeah.
If we go to this inn, Then you're saying we will not be welcomed back into the woods?
I don't think the welcome to the woods is the problem.
I believe he's saying that the haven itself is dangerous, and the people inside are not able to leave. Why would the woodcutter lead us to such a place after we freed him?
He said he wanted me to be there the most.
Well, take heart. The woodcutters are always recruiting.
And the woodcutter is just, he's just hanging out, not saying anything?
He's not at all happy, but he's not sure what to do with this conversation, especially since you guys have made a habit of talking in Elvish around him. Gladstone is kind of drunk, but he's like, I don't think we should stay here if there's Dreamweavers. I don't know what that is, but... And then Greenwich is like, Dreamweavers.
So you know of these Dreamweavers, Greenwich? What are they?
They're spiders that come in dreams.
Spiders, like the kind that would wrap silken cocoons around someone?
Well, I suppose so. That's what he's saying. But what is he saying this street? Did he say that?
No, he was just making casual conversation. And then I was speaking Elvish to Keto again. Were you strung up by Dreamweavers?
Yeah, this is their lair. I thought I just said that. Grant just kind of backing up into the, maybe I should. I probably should just go. Gladstone's like, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but maybe we should all go.
I'm asking Keto, can you take us to a safe place?
I can take you away from here, which is safer than here.
All right, I'm asking the
others. And I will take you, if you like, away from him, which also is safer, I think, in the long run.
I like this little one better.
Yes, my intuition tells me that he speaks truth. My gut tells me this, and I have not been comfortable around this woodsman the entire time we've known him.
He's also not as much of an asshole.
Yeah, he's like a total dick.
He also seems more knowledgeable and willing to share that knowledge.
Yeah.
And
perception check was good, right? So
yeah. And he's not transparently evil.
Yeah. Obviously a red pill kind of guy. So like let's kind of
like super racist.
Yeah.
Is anybody still checking the perimeter now that everyone's having this conversation?
I haven't stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I assume we're all on edge.
So there's definitely a giant spider coming.
Okay. All right, Scrog, 2 arms. Toss the woodman his axe.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
He has already run away.
Yeah.
That makes you guys feel better.
All right, then I'll speak to Keto. Keto,
damn.
Kita, we are following you.
Kita, lead us to safety.
So you're running from the spider.
Can I throw the
yes, we're running
axe,
from the spider. You don't sit here and just randomly attack giant spiders. We don't. Are you attacking it?
I want to throw the extra axe at him before. Maybe it's good. Even if we're leaving, you could like.
We need to work on our teamwork.
They give you attack, and it's going to get an attack on you.
I attack in an instant. That's my MO. Once it happens.
All right, so we're saying let's run, Kita, and then we turn around but he's already throwing an axe.
All right, so that sounds like, I know I'm old school, Megan, but does that sound like an initiative thing we got to do?
We should. I would say that Scrog is going to get that first toss, and then we all need to roll initiative, including the spider, to find out who goes next.
15 plus 2, 17.
Okay, you got 17. I got 15. We're doing really good.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I got 10.
And then whatever the spider gets, but Scrug definitely gets the first toss of one of those hand axes.
Scrog has stepped forward with the axe, and you're throwing the axe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Scrog, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have like a great axe that you carry, and
I
then
have
you
an
have
axe
hand
and I
axes.
have hand axes, but I was also holding that guy's axe.
Yeah, I thought he was throwing the
You were
woodsman's
throwing the
woodman
I'm
axe.
throwing the woodman's axes to get rid of it because I don't want it either.
I would go ahead and under your hand axes on attacks,
Yeah.
do you see where it says where you can throw?
It says melee weapon, but on that little note section, it says simple light thrown range.
Well, then just click the to hit on it and see what happens.
4 plus 5 is 9.
Scrog hand axe to hit 9.
Okay. If the AC of the spider is higher,
It is.
then he misses. Okay. Then he misses.
You missed it. Yeah,
That was a good try.
It doesn't make me feel any better about not running.
Good try.
Well, it's the aerodynamics of that acts are weird.
well, let's see what the spider gets.
Okay.
1. You guys can run away clean, or you guys basically all get free. So whatever you want to do.
I would like to back away following Kita out away from the lair.
So not fully running away, just backing away.
Running away.
Is Kita running?
Yeah, he's not staying to fight spider. I'll tell you that. He
Okay.
already got tied up by it.
Let me know when it's my turn, and my turn is I'm running.
All right. Well,
Turn and keep an eye on the others. Make sure I'm not leaving them behind, but I want to...
Scrog got a 17. Is he the next? Or he just had an action, though.
Yeah, he's the first one. He can either move. Well, you get a movement, an action. You could have like a bonus action, depending on.
Yeah, so it's up to you, Scrog. You can try to attack the spider or run away.
Well, I guess my point is that it can't. I always think it might be a good idea if I could hit it, and then, but I guess it's not going to work like that. It's going to.
Well, you can throw things at it if you want, but that's up to
Well,
you.
I'm just saying it's not like I'm going to hit it once, and it's gonna be like.
You might get a 20.
Yeah, you might kill it in one. I mean, that's up to you, Scrog. How tough are you?
But he just said if we're running away, it could get us.
Are you unmanned by a spider?
No, I mean, I'll always attack. Don't egg me on. I'll always just stay here and fight.
Well, your buddies aren't egging you on. Your buddies look like
No.
they're all backing up. So
Yeah, I think instinctively and wisely.
Yeah, I
moving
feel like
away
they're
from
gonna
this
not. They're not gonna. I'm gonna turn around and like, all right, and they're gonna be gone.
exactly. Let's go.
I'll be more of a big father in this thing. I'll tell them all we need to get out of here.
Bring up the
Kind of-
rear. You're not retreating. You're just defending our rear.
Yeah. So that's what I do.
Okay, so you guys are all running,
Yes.
Yeah.
and you're also running then.
Yes, I'm following Kita.
Okay, due to the spider's spectacularly awful initiative roll, you guys definitely can get away from it.
Perhaps it was taken aback by the axe flying at its head.
That was a warning.
Yeah.
Warning shot.
You're fleeing its lair, so it's not going to follow after you, though.
Oh, whew.
Victory. That's what I consider
Yes.
this.
That's a win. I'm going to write a song about our win.
Yeah. Is Kita still running?
He's with you guys, yeah.
I mean, is he? We're following him, right?
So Woodcutter took off, Spider stayed there, and we just went back
Yeah.
to the path,
So if
basically.
you're following him, then he's going to take you away.
Are we back at the path now?
Yeah, but he's taking you down a different
okay.
tributary path.
Are we
off
are
of
we
the main
running
path.
still, or has Kita stopped running?
Well, he's still in a hurry, but you're faster than him at a walk because he's got
Okay.
little legs.
I'm gonna ask: are we safe, Kita? Have we evaded the spider?
I think it seems like it's not coming after us. So
Is that a
yes.
Dreamweaver that you spoke of?
Yes, I think so.
Can it help me get through the night?
It depends on what you're looking for.
What other things do we need to be watching out for out here?
This land and these woods, there's no telling. But you're clear of the woodcutter, so that's a plus. You seemed content to be following into your doom.
Well,
And now you're with me.
we have no
So that's
context,
something.
friend Kita. We are not from here, and we do not know the ways of the people or what kinds of people are even in these woods.
And it is true that they are not all evil. Perhaps it's even true that most people aren't. But it's difficult to say.
I'm gonna roll up in perception. What would I be? Intuition?
Insight.
Insight.
Do insight
I'm gonna
again?
see an insight and just try to see if I can feel if Kita is deceptive or evil at all. I got 18.
Very good.
He doesn't seem like he's trying to deceive you. He seems sincere.
All right. What did the woodsman seem good? I can't remember.
I don't recall you doing that check, but,
Well, we should
but
always do
most
that
of
from
the
now on.
stuff that he said.
Yeah. It's not a lie detector test, but you can kind of get a feel for,
Yeah, and I think you guys were getting a natural sense of the way that he talked about stuff.
it's kind of a jerk.
So, Kita, can you lead us to safety like you said earlier?
I will take you back to my home, and then we can see from there what you need. It's good that you don't go to the Inn of the Last Haven, though. If you don't have to.
Now I kind of want to. I'm kind of curious what's going on in this place.
Well, the woodcutters once lived in the world of men and in the villages of men.
But they were driven into the woods by other men because they were evil, or?
Well, driven is a way to say it. They stole children.
Oh, so they were banished to the woods?
That was frowned upon, yes. They would take the weak, whoever they could find. It was the flesh of their kind that they came to crave.
So they eat people?
Yeah, they eat people.
Well, perhaps we were wrong to free this man.
Those are cooking skills I do not want to learn.
Well, it's difficult to say, but yes, they're not great.
Well, we meant no harm. We certainly do not encourage that behavior. I hope you understand that, Kita.
I think coming to the aid of another is not a poor quality, but everyone isn't a friend.
Perhaps we will run into him again, and we can discuss this with him.
Let's hope not.
But let's let him hope not. We fear not a woodsman that can overpowered by druidesses.
By druidesses. Like druids.
Do you know of the druids, Kita?
The tree women of the forest?
Yes. Are they friendly?
Not to most, but you must understand that most aren't friendly to the wilderness either.
Should we fear them?
I would avoid them.
Yes, well, we've done that so far.
Like I said, it's best not to interfere with the roots of the wood. That is something that will always find their ire. They defend the trees.
Is falling against a tree count? I look at Scrog.
I'd avoid that if you could.
This tree was clearly dead already.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
All I did was lean on it.
Yeah. It's a natural part of forestation and recycling of materials.
It's all part of the circle of life.
Hey, a root's what tripped me, so that root kind of caused it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a whole wrong place, wrong time.
I mean, it's like he pushed first. That's what I'm saying. He instigated the incident. We are on a quest, Kita, to reach the caverns of extreme disarray. Are you familiar with them?
Ah, that quest. You're on the first adventure.
Oh, so you've met others who have been on this quest?
Many have been on that one.
Oh,
Never
really?
More than once, obviously.
Can you tell us about them, or what became of them?
Well, different things for different ones. It's all about who you are. It's a testing ground.
Do you know of Rebo?
Do I know of those who put you on the quest?
Yes.
Yes. Somewhat I do.
Do you know of the god Kit what's it?
These are unimportant questions. Can you take us there to the caverns?
It's not unimportant at all. I'd like to know the motivation of who's put us here.
Straight to the caverns, if you would.
I'd like to visit your home, Keto, first, and learn as much as we can about these caverns before we venture into them.
Is that writing a book?
If you're on the first adventure, I wonder if you would benefit from traveling to the Inn of the Last Haven.
Really?
Proving ground, isn't it?
So you think if we go and deal with these evil folk, it would help us on our quest?
I don't know about help, but if it's a test of character, then it would prove more. But I don't know. What's to learn there? You've already seen the evil of the woodcutter, and I've already told you their ways. The only thing to go there for is to become food or to become one of them. I doubt either one of you are looking to do either of those things.
That's not the only option. We can go there and we can dispatch with these evil people.
Ooh, dispatch. What a pleasant word for it.
Well, if they're harming children...
Is that what heroes do? Dispatch
I believe
people.
If we're dealing with a group of people who are harming children and stealing and eating children, then yes.
Well, they were driven from the lands of men for harming children, but there are no children here in the wood.
Well,
they're harming trees. There's no hiding that.
Are they feasting on other travelers such as ourselves? Because
that depends on the travelers.
I cannot countenance such an action. We cannot allow that to continue. It could have happened to us. It could happen to any innocent people coming through these woods. Morally, I feel no problem.
It's not terrible as a moral argument.
Do heroes merely survive a quest, or do they provide help in a quest?
Ooh, that is an interesting question.
I personally feel...
I think survival is underrated.
Well, that's spoken like most heroes.
I am not one to rush into a fight. But I feel that this man was leading us, if we ought to believe our friend Kita, and my intuition tells me so, that he was leading us into death, despite our saving him. And I kind of wish to seek retribution for that.
Sounding a little less heroic now.
This is more of a personal thing always for
you,
you, isn't it?
Sound like you're talking yourself into stuff.
I'm just saying, I'm already upset at him, and then now I learned that other people have been attacked by him, and
I think it would be
in the
very
future,
different.
we know that other people are on this quest because Kita's already told us that we're not the first. Perhaps, Kita, have other adventurers like us been eaten by this man?
Well, I can't speak to who's
Can't say
eaten
that.
before, but many have come to the woods, so not all have left.
I feel it is our moral obligation to protect future travelers from this.
Oh, now he thinks it's the moral.
Well, that's what I've been saying all
He was the
along.
first one out the door when the spider came last night.
The spider was not an evil creature that we know of.
We were on our way. That's how
The
we ran
spider
away from
is
this quest.
a natural animal, and animals will attack you if they're afraid. I'm just saying this guy is clearly bad news. We're here to prove ourselves.
Well, let's hope your tongue is as sharp when we meet these foes.
It's not my tongue I shall be attacking with, friend. But perhaps you're afraid, Scrog, of the large number of woodsmen. I understand.
No,
if you don't...
I'm the one arguing to go back. I'm just making fun of you.
Making fun of me for wanting to do this?
We're being a little man.
Elva, you are perhaps one of the wiser among us, clearly. What do you think we should do, Elva?
We were tasked to go through the caverns of insanity. I don't think it's particularly heroic to go seek retribution. However, if Kita were to task us with accomplishing something with the woodsman, I would be on board for that. But I don't think that our purpose here is to go rout out these people in their inn. It seems like they've already met their punishment and they're living within it.
Well, it's not retribution I
wise.
seek. I am just more afraid for the future travelers that may come through.
Well, it seems like Kita's got that kind of on lockdown.
I don't know that Kita was there to save us. Were you there, Kita, looking to save us?
Can't promise that I'll be kidnapped by spiders every time a traveler comes through with a woodcutter.
Kita, are you asking us to go clear out the woodcutters from the forest?
I'm telling you that I will show you the way to wherever you want to go. But the choice is yours.
If you feel that the inn requires dealing with because we're concerned for travelers in the woods, then I'm all for that.
Oh, that is my motivation. I'm not looking for a fight, believe me. I'm saying that the fact that he did that to us is taking away a lot of the...
I will vouch for him that he doesn't seem to be looking for fights most of these times.
Thank you, Gladstone. I feel like the fact that he was doing that to us takes away any mercy that I might have felt towards him.
Then perhaps the inn requires some more investigation.
Investigation.
Investigation. Yes.
Gladstone.
Yes.
That could be our first album.
I will say this also. Again, we don't know what the quest is. It was vague.
We don't.
We did what we thought was right. The inn was then put into our path, so perhaps it was meant to be. Perhaps it's part of the quest. We don't know, do we?
Then let's at least begin to travel in that direction and see what befalls us.
You should be a politician. For it sounds like this has been your idea now when you were the first to leave.
Then I have decided.
Yeah, it's like
As
Yeah, I'm
leader
glad I
of
thought
this
of-
group.
Next time on Wyzyrd Skyzyrd.
So we'll send Gladstone in to check it out.
My cover would be that I'm going there as a performer.
Entertain.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And he can start singing, and if he stops singing, then we'll charge the place.
And I guarantee you, the only way I'd stop singing is if someone kills me.
Perhaps the lyrics can clue us in if we can hear them. It's like, everything's fine, please come. Or, I am being eaten, now would be a good time.
Yeah. Seems like this whole thing was a terrible idea.
That's the clue. Let's get it in.
That's good. All right, so we already have it. That's the code.
I like this plan.
Så sitter en och trässar mina namn. Flusten veckor i sig. Flusten så strägs som mina. Och Ramona. Ramona. Säg folk om morfidar. Ramona.